I trade shitcoins, from 100,000 market cap even. There is Dex Tools live new pairs where you can actually watch tokens launch. I think that's a lot riskier personally than like being in good groups like the ACYC Alpha channel where people do some of this vetting together. But from there, whenever you see a coin on Dex Tools, you can just follow the link right to Etherscan, and that'll give you holder distribution. That'll give you the means to track the wallets that funded the coin. It's definitely very risky. I think for me, what I look for is first I'll like check who deployed the contract. A lot of time there are these like circles of ruggers that release a token, rug it, release a new one, rug it, and they do like very little to cover their tracks. So like I'll dig into the Etherscan, I'll see who deployed the contract, I'll follow that wallet was funded by an exchange or from another wallet, and sometimes you can trace that back and instantly see like, oh, this guy just launched tokens within the last week that both rugged. So like those are big red flags. I think beyond that, as they're a little more established, the next thing I look at is like the holder distribution. If it's super unhealthy, if the top 20 wallets are holding like 70% of the tokens, if you have holders that are larger than 2%, for me, that's another huge red flag. And that doesn't mean they can't moon. Sometimes even coins moon where they have lots of the supply locked up in the largest holder because nobody's selling. It's just a lot less likely. Most of the time you have dumpers. And then, looking at volume, I know, when Nate was trading Colt, when he was looking at Colt, the thing that brought him in is it was a $4 million market cap that had $7 million in volume on that first day. So right there, you're saying, okay, there's a massive amount of capital flowing in and out of this token. That's a big buy signal. You're sort of following volume there. So that's a good way to look at it. And then there's general chart information you can use. It's less applicable on those smaller caps because one person can wreck or make the chart. But those are my general things. I know Clerk has, his way of trading these things too.
Yeah, I'm coming from different position, yeah, in my opinion, because I tend to trade with size. So what's important for me is always volume and liquidity, right? I've been trying a lot of times, to be like box, but with size, but I tend to, get stuck in that coin because, liquidity wise, it's not accommodating enough for the size. Like some coins you could only play with zero point 0.5 or 1 Ether max. Some coins you can play to 5 to 10. Some coins you can do 30, 40, 50 it like cult was, right? So sometimes it's always a different things to see and things to look out for, in shit coins. Depends on what your plan with that shit coin. So discipline will be important for you, and deciding what's the plan from the get-go would be important as well. But for me, as I would love to get something that I can play with 20, 30 ETH, liquidity and volume would be the most important part.
Yeah, I think something Clerk just touched on that's great is like planning your exits, especially if you're moving in with a larger amount of capital. Like these things are so volatile. If you don't have your exit planned, you're going to get caught up in an emotional trade and you're just going to want to hold when your bag has mooned. And sometimes that means that you do end up selling too early. But if you're hitting those targets, you take your profit is profit, you've made your mark, and maybe you leave a moon bag. But it's good to have an idea when you're going in.